Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here today with episode 23 of Code Geass. So, right off the back of last episode, which of course is packs quite a punch, I guess you could say. Apparently there was a lot of confusion as to, what I was actually trying to say there, and to be fair, that's totally on me, right? I feel like I probably didn't convey my rationale clearly to you guys. So, let's do this one more time, right? I saw a lot of you guys interacted with me in the comments and whatnot, but I want to use this opportunity to, to restate my feelings and thinkings about this situation. So, a lot of people were saying, hey, since how I didn't realize that you cared about Euphy that much, right? And you feel so sad for her. Or there's another big sect of people who are being like, hey, Lelouch isn't a saint. This just reiterates the fact that what he's doing has a lot of moral consequences and whatnot, and so on and so forth, right? But actually, both those viewpoints, while true, of course, they kind of missed the point. I'm not actually that sympathetic towards Euphy, and I actually don't care that much about Lelouch's morals, believe it or not. So here's the deal. Like, let's make some things clear here. If Lelouch really wanted to go on full evil dictator and whatnot, I would be okay. If he wanted to pull Light Yagami, right, from Death Note and whatnot, I'd be totally fine with it. And in fact, I do love those kinds of stories where the main character is actually more so on the side of evil and whatnot. But as long as that's something that they purposely go towards and they're not acting hypocritical about it, I totally enjoy that, right? So if Lelouch actually, due to his drive for revenge or whatnot, clouding his judgment, and then in that under that kind of pretext, deliberately ordering Euphy to do this in order to further his plans, even though I will say, dude, you are completely twisted and sick and whatnot, from a story perspective and whatnot, I would actually gain a lot of enjoyment out of it. I'm not gonna lie, right? As twisted as that might sound. So it's definitely not that part. And it's not the fact, and just because of that, I think you guys can also understand it's not the fact that Euphy, I feel that's in the fact towards Euphy, right? I think my past few episodes have made it clear that I heavily admire what Euphy is trying to do. I think she is still a little bit misguided, but still, I respect her. But at the same time, this is definitely not how I would sound, describing describing a character that I love very much, right? It's not that part. Or, taking it a step further, like, I would have been okay if it was instead a very, a very dire situation, chaotic and whatnot, and, through the midst of things, Lelouch, whilst trying to get out of a very dire situation or a very critical point, accidentally misfired and, misfired as in activating his Geass and caused this kind of chain reaction. Or from a more, how can I say it? From a more smoothing kind of point of view, like if it was simply an unintended and unforeseen consequence of what Lelouch was trying to do, what he was actually trying to plan, like perhaps, he sent out an order towards Euphy or whatnot, but then it was kind of twisted in a way that even though it achieved its goal, it also had a lot of unforeseen consequences, right? Something like a monkey's paw kind of situation. I would have been okay with that as well, right? The thing that really gets me and frustrates me about this entire situation is that it was a completely unforced error on Lelouch's part, right? There was nobody threatening him. No, he was not in any sort of dire situation or a very critical moment or time or whatnot. There were no enemies around. He was just having a nice talk with Euphy, and then, out of nowhere, he just had to go and say those kinds of words at the same time, Geass activating at the same time, and that's causing the situation, right? It was completely unnecessary, right? I'm not saying unnecessary from a story point of view. I'm talking unnecessary from Lelouch's actions point of view. He had no reason to do something like that. And that's what gets me, right? Because it was an error, and a very grave error, that was completely unforced and, could have been completely avoided, right? Now, obviously, is it better for the story to have this kind of development? Sure. Do I wish it could have gotten into this situation from another sort of method, some other kind of context resulting in this kind of situation? Absolutely, right? I would have absolutely wished for it to be some other kind of circumstance, whether deliberate or not, that caused him to to eventually give out this kind of order, and for Euphy to eventually devolve into, this kind of thing, right? So that's the main thing that really gets me, right? And obviously, another thing is that, Euphy, whilst, I'm not exactly that sympathetic towards her, I do feel very bad for her, for the sense that she is doing something right now that goes actively against her ideals, and, going back to what I was saying, also against Lelouch's ideals as well, right? So that's that's the thing that really gets me out of all of this, and that's what's frustrating me to no end for this kind of development. So hopefully that makes it more clear for you guys. I just thought that I would like to take this time to to clarify once more, since I apparently did not do a good job of conveying it in the last episode. So, with that being said, now let's get into this episode, right? Now, obviously, what's done has been done, and this is not exactly a reversible situation, right? Even if Euphy eventually snaps out of it, nobody's gonna believe her, right? Nobody's gonna believe that she was mind-controlled or whatnot, or, the existence of mind-control technology. So even if she snaps out of it at the very end, what's done is done. That is completely irreversible. So at this point, all you can do is take advantage of the situation, right? Which I'm sure Lelouch knows as well. He already said as much at the very end of last episode. So let's see, right? Let's see how exactly he takes advantage of it and what exactly he is going to do. All right, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I order you all. And honestly though, how exactly is that gonna work? Are you like going to completely wipe out Japan? Yeah. So hopefully, anyways, I spent like 6 minutes talking about what I actually am trying to say here at the beginning. So hopefully this comes across as much more clearer to you guys. But again, if you have any questions or whatnot, just leave them in the comments below, and maybe I'll try to explain myself better and better, right? Now, I'm sure that Lelouch probably wouldn't have as many fans if he actually went down the light Yagami route, but still, you know. I think those, but, for those of you guys who have been long-time subscribers already, you should probably know by now that I'm not exactly that, how can I say it? I don't have that strong a position in terms of morals and whatnot, right? I don't exactly think that people need to adhere to a certain set of morals or standards or whatnot. I mean, it's anime, right? I enjoy a good story much more than anime characters trying to uphold what is, you know, good and lawful, and so on and so forth. Hmm. あ。I mean, Shoot still knows that he's Zero, right? I mean, he's Lelouch, right? Oof. Yeah, she knows. Really? Euphy survived? I would have thought it would be more, I think it would have been... Yeah... more logical to expect her to die here? Yeah, especially since Euphy still knows about Lelouch's identity, right? Alright. Huh. Euphy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it makes more sense for her to die, right? Because otherwise... I really can't... Oh. What? She's still... Oh, okay. The miracles of Britannia. Medical technology, right? Must kill him. Alright, is this the leader of the Chinese Federation? I guess Suzeku is going to lie to her. Allow her to at least die peacefully. It makes sense. She's dying. United States of Japan. Who translated this? I mean, yeah, sure, it makes sense. It's just, yeah. Such a goddamn shame. You know, I would even, like I said in the comments last episode, I would even rather her just die before doing all of this. And what are you thinking, Lelouch? Oof. Oof! Yeah, he's gonna need to keep it a secret from her. Yeah, no. Oh, that is such a, that is such an inconvenient ability here. You can only use it once on someone, but it's active all the time, right? He's gonna have to wear an eye patch from now on. Hmm. I mean, at this point, I would probably expect that, you know, United Japan does get established, and it does turn into like a full-out war, right? A full-out global war, right? おう。The V2? C2? V2? What's next? A2? B2? D2? R2D2? ん Future husband? Alright. Lady, we're in the middle of a battle here. Well, if you were the goddess of victory, Japan wouldn't have lost in the first place, right? Nope. Who are you? He seems very similar to Diethard to me. Okay, never mind. Now that things are developing this way, perhaps Lelouch will not get his way. Oh, okay. Well, if C2 says this, then, alright. So, my earlier prediction was correct. Suzaku? That you are Zero? Okay, so he knows now? No, wait. Oh, wait, so he doesn't know. No. So... Okay, okay, never mind. He still doesn't know, but... okay, that is ironic. Alright. I guess he is going to light route. But hey, if that makes his mental more stable in a way, well, all the power to him. Well, I'll see you guys after this. Well now, Lelouch is certainly starting to go off the deep end here, right? Now, I do think that that's more or less some sort of coping mechanism that he has, you know, just because of the things that he's already done. But, you know, all things considered, that's okay with me. I already said at length at the beginning of this that, you know, I would actually like it more if he just deliberately went on this path. So probably he's justifying it as the same way as well, right? What's done has been done. He's got to take actions to do all the rest of it. So, you know, killing off Euphy, I think that was entirely logical and reasonable, and if I'm being honest, quite necessary for the advancement of the story, considering that Euphy still knows Lelouch's Zero's true identity and whatnot, right? And it's just not gonna work that way, right? Oh, by the way, so at the very end, it seems that Suzaku was not told Zero was Lelouch. Apparently, V2 only knows about the fact that Zero can use Geass, right? And not his actual identity and whatnot. So, you know, quite the ironic situation at the very end here, but that's what their relationship has always been here, right? But yeah, anyways, so, I am quite curious, like, what's going to be the outcome of this particular battle. I'm thinking here that based on how things are going as of this point, that probably, you know, the United States of Japan is here to stay, right? And by the way, I do find it kind of funny that they are calling it the United States of Japan, because and that is the correct translation, don't get me wrong. It's just that, you know, in order to have the United States, you gotta have multiple governments working together, right? The reason that the United States of America is called that is because each state has their own state government. They are more or less a federation, right? How does that exactly work with Japan when there is no other, you know, collection of states or whatnot? I guess perhaps Kyoto and the Black Knights, you know, they combine together. I'm not sure, but that's kind of semantics, right? It's just that I do find it kind of funny. He's calling it the United States of Japan here, but Anyways, beyond that, what I'm really trying to say here is that I do feel that for the purposes of continuing the story, probably he is going to be able to gain his foothold here in Japan, at least a certain amount of territory and whatnot. Whether or not he can actually control all of Japan, that's something that we'll probably see in the upcoming few episodes here. But I do feel like at this point in the story, it really doesn't make sense anymore to revert back to school life and so on and so forth. Or I guess, no, it doesn't make sense at all, right? Especially if he is going to be the leader of this new nation. Like, that honestly does not work at all. But I am curious, like, how exactly he's going to go about, resolving the entire situation, right? The hatred right now between Britannians and Japanese, that is definitely something we already see hints of that at the very end there, right? Especially with what Valletta was facing and whatnot. So, that's, it's just a bad situation all around, right? Like, obviously, I feel like Lelouch would probably still, eventually say something like, hey, don't, we are an equal country, as long as we're away from Britannia. Well, we don't call them Britannians anymore. They can stay here if they want to be called Japanese, right? Or I guess not Japanese, but if they want to be a citizen of this new country or something of that sort, right? Now, this may be counting the chickens before they actually hatch, because Lelouch hasn't actually won yet, right? I just feel that, with the way things are going here, it's inevitable that he is the main character after all. It's inevitable that he is going to win at least this particular localized conflict, and then move on to the world stage instead, and have a full-out world war with Britannia here, and, go from there, right? Obviously, that is, just looking at things on the surface level. I'm not involving anything in relation to those supernatural kind of stuff, right? Like V2, like C2, like that dude that just awoken from the vat there. Like, I would think that he's also some sort of weapon, or maybe in some way related to all those supernatural powers that we see going around here. But yeah, anyways, that's for later on, right? I definitely feel like with the way things are going, probably, we're already in a irreversible process here, right? The moment that he gave that order to Euphy, no, this is the only conclusion that we can come to, right? There's no way to keep this fire. Now, that is definitely an explosion, if there is one, a catalyst. So, in some aspect, again, this ties back to what I was saying at the beginning of the episode. I know why, in order to progress the story and whatnot, this is definitely one of the best ways to really launch us forward into the next phase of the entire story. It's just that I do wish there was another way to do all this, right? Especially, like, during the first half of the episode, right? To be honest, like, killing Euphy, again, to me, that was an inevitable outcome, right? There's really no way about it. That has to happen, right? But to me, actually, more so than Euphy dying, I was much more depressed and feeling bad over, how the public's perception of her has warped to this kind of situation here, right? To me, I don't know, like, does it make sense? Even though, obviously, Euphy's life is alive, right? Is a life gone, she's dead now. But to me, even more so than that, the thing that I feel most bad about her is that she's going to go down in history as this, betrayer, as this, basically all sorts of she's going to be called all sorts of bad names in history for many, many years to come, and there's absolutely no way to whitewash it, right? There's no way for her to gain back her reputation, her credits, and so on and so forth. And to me, actually, that hurts even more than her death here. I already said at the beginning, I would have even enjoyed it more if Lelouch just killed her outright, or put her into a situation where she died, rather than, warping her legacy like this, right? So, anyways, yeah, that was indeed kind of hard to stomach, and, well, Lelouch, I think at this point, he probably also feels that as well, so that is why he's trying to steel himself by taking on the role of the full villain here, right? But yeah, anyways, that's it for this episode. Yeah, we'll just see in the next few how exactly this goes. I'm expecting the United States of Japan to really become the United States of Japan, you know, for Lelouch and the Black Knights and whatnot. Well, should I still call them the Black Knights? Maybe. We'll see, right? For them to fully gain control of Japan, Cornelia's probably gonna go somewhere else. Suzaku's probably gonna go somewhere else. Yeah, we will see them fight another day, but under a different kind of circumstance here. But anyways, that's it for now. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time as well. By the way, I am going to be maybe switching the schedule where I release Code Geass episodes. Normally I release them on Tuesdays, right? Mondays or Tuesdays. Obviously with the upcoming season here, I'm going to switch my schedule around, but you know, at the very least I will still finish this particular season. Season 2, well, I'll have to see about it, right? It really depends on scheduling and whatnot, but at the very least, I will continue to watch this till the first season till the end, you know, in the upcoming weeks and whatnot. So, stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.